Hey guys, so I'm just here parlayed in my old room in El Paso. But I just finished filming the 24 things that I learned in the year 24. I just turned 25 like a week or two ago now. That sounds so old when I say it, but I know I'm not old. But just 25 sounds so grown. So yeah, I sat down, did my makeup, kind of got ready with you guys. Told you the 24 things that I feel like I learned this last year. And some of them are things like I've known. Some of them are things that have just really proved prevalent in my life this year. But these are just lessons that I'm kind of walking away from the year 24 with. And just kind of okay. Just things that I've really felt all year long. Lessons I've had to walk through this year. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, I'm gonna start the video now. My face is not going to look like this, so here we go. Alright, so I'm in the middle of my brows. I forgot to press record, but let's jump into it. So first thing is, and if you see me looking down, I have my little list in front of me, and these are in no particular order, but the first thing I really learned this year was that life is really full of the unexpected. You can try to plan as much as you want, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with planning, but good to be able to roll with the flow too, go with the flow too, because you never know what life is going to throw at you. You never know what's going to happen next. You never know what things are not going to go according to plan. And I know that sounds really cliche, well duh, unexpected things happen all the time, but I don't know, for me this has just been a big, sorry I'm out of breath, I'm always out of breath. This year has just been a big reminder that anything can happen at any time. And it's about how you roll with it and how you go with it that really kind of determines how you get through it. And it's okay when things don't go as planned. I have to tell myself that all the time because I love to plan things. Alright, second thing is that sacrifice in some way is always going to be a part of reaching your full potential, whether it be sacrifice giving up time with your friends and family, giving up free time. I love my free time. I really like it. I enjoy it a lot. I like just being able to get up, just kind of do what I want to do. Not really have to stick to a schedule. But no, I've really learned this year that in order to be as successful as I want to be and really reach my potential, whether it be in school, whether it be with my business, or even just things with myself, I'm gonna have to give up something. And that's not a bad thing at all. But I'm just so used to things coming pretty easy for me for the most part, I can't lie, that I forget sometimes you gotta give something up to get something, and that's not a bad thing. And I'm thankful for God's blessings, when he has just blessed me with things that it came a little bit easier. But for the most part I've learned there's gonna be some give and take when it comes to really going after what you want and getting what you want, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, that's number 2. And number 3 is that it is okay to be alone, and I don't mean just relationship wise. I mean just it's cool to be by yourself sometimes, and it's okay to feel alone sometimes too. It's okay to feel everybody's just a little too busy for you at the time, or you're the only one that really understands what you're going through. But that being said, it is not okay to just wallow in your feelings, and do not discredit the fact that God is always there. I found myself quite a few times this year talking about how alone I felt, whether it be with my feelings or even just physically, just alone. And I would be saying just how alone I felt, but yet I'd still be praying to God and just asking him for his help, asking him for his peace, for his guidance, different stuff like that. And then it kind of hit me one day when I was complaining about just how lonely I felt inside with my feelings. God kind of put the thought in my head but you've been praying to me though. But I've been there, but I've shown you that I'm there. I've given you peace when you needed it. I've shown you signs that you even needed to see sometimes. How can you still be saying you're alone? And kind of checked me a little bit, and I was oh, sorry, I'm not alone. And yeah, I think that's just a thought that the enemy can easily put in your mind, and it's an easy one to give into. And it's okay to feel like that sometimes. It's cool. We're human. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know how much more I can blame this. But you gotta pick yourself up and move on at the same time. It's not okay to just wallow in that feeling, because it's just like a downward spiral. It's not going to get you anywhere. Not anywhere good, at least. So that's that. Number 4 would be that my plans, they can't compare to God's, like, at all sometimes. And I'm not saying that what I have dreaming for myself, or what I've dreamt for myself, or plans that I have for myself can't ever compare to what God has in, like, a bad way. I'm just saying sometimes God has so much more for you. And even if you think you're dreaming big, or you think you're, you know, just like really reaching for the stars, God is kind of like, oh, but just wait, like, I have something even better for you. And I have to remember that sometimes, because, you know, I get really excited about, like, ideas that I have, dreams I have, things I want to do. And sometimes they're not the greatest ideas. I just get excited. And sometimes they don't happen, but then, like, what does end up happening is just so much better. The way things end up happening is just so much better. And I know at the end of the day, it's because it's God's plan for me, you know? Things aren't always going to go according to what you want. And that's cool. Learning how to surrender to just what God sees for my life too. Because sometimes I just get so stuck in whatever's going on at the moment, or whatever I see for myself, that I forget that, you know, He might have something bigger and better going for me, but I just got to give Him that chance to show me. Number 5, kind of going back to, like, the feeling of just being alone, or feeling like I was alone a lot. I was reminded this year that I'm loved by a lot of people. And if you're watching this and you feel like, oh, that's nice for you, guess what? You probably are too. I don't remember what colors I'm putting on my face anymore. I'm just kind of going with it here. But yeah, I went through, like, some pretty dark seasons over the last couple of years, and I kind of, like, shut my family out. I was never just, like, not talking to anybody, like, as far as just, like, about my feelings and stuff, but a lot of times I would just, like, be going through it, and I would just get so lost in my sauce. Like, I just wanted to say that. I would just get so lost in my own feelings that, and like I said, I just, like, feed into these, like, negative thoughts in my head. And no, like, when I stopped looking at all the things I was losing in life, and started looking at the things that I have in life and the people that I have in my life, things, like, my perspective really changed a lot, and that helped me realize, you know, like, a lot of people love me, a lot of people care about me, and not that I need that to, like, survive in life or anything like that, but sometimes you gotta remind yourself, like, dude, there's people that love you, there's people that care about you, like, they're there. Stop pushing them away. That's that. Number 6 is that a relationship with God is attainable. But it's up to me to actually work at it and, you know, get something out of it and make something of it. Again, with, like, perspective, I spent a lot of my life looking at God as more of, like, a judge and, like, a punisher, instead of somebody, like, who loves me and who cares for me and wants the best for me. It's like that's something I always knew. It's not like I grew up not with that teaching. But I don't know, I had a hard time, like, seeing God as, like, a loving God. I thought He was just, like, keeping track of everything wrong I did, despite how much I knew that wasn't right, you know? And yeah, it's like, this is probably the first time in a really, really long time I can say that I know I have a relationship with God. Like, I'm working at it, I'm figuring it out. He's really came through for me, and He's come through for me a lot of times. I just don't give Him the credit that He deserves all the time, which is sad. But this year it's been, like, in ways that, like, I can't deny it anymore. I can't be like, oh, that's just luck, or however. Like, He's really come through, you know? And I've learned too this year that the same relationship I see that people at church might have with God, or people in my life that I'm just like, oh, I want that. Like, I can have that, but I can't just sit there and say I want that and then not do anything about it. Next thing is number 7, and I made myself sound like I was just so sad sometimes. And I mean, I did go through stuff, but I don't know. These are just things, like, keep in mind that I've just, like, really been reminded of this year. It's stuff that, some of it I already knew, but some of it that I've just been like, ugh, like, I'm feeling it this year, you know? So number 7 is that I'm more than fortunate and I'm more than blessed. Just kind of goes back to the perspective thing. When I changed my perspective and started seeing how much I had and all the blessings in my life and all the good things, instead of thinking about how much I didn't have or where I was lacking, or, you know, things like that. When I changed that perspective around, I felt like my happiness just went up a lot. My attitude changed a lot. Like, it just changed a lot for me. So I still do this to this day, and it's crazy because I used to make my kids do this a lot when they'd be like complaining. When I was teaching in 3rd grade, I had a few that they would just like complain about everything and anything, and I used to tell them, like, name 5 things you're thankful for, like name 5 good things like about today. And when they couldn't find anything, I'd be like, are you wearing shoes? Like, did somebody drop you off at school today? Like, are you warm? Like, did you eat this morning? Like, things like that. And they seem so small, but you know, some people don't have that, and you gotta remind yourself you're more than fortunate and you're more than blessed. And just because you don't have what you want at the moment, or what you think you should have, or what you think you want at the moment, doesn't mean you're lacking. Like, focus on the good, focus on what you do have, just keep it moving, you know, and get over yourself sometimes. Number 8, there's nothing wrong with checking yourself and or being checked. Now, if somebody's just coming at you disrespectfully, that's another thing. But if somebody is telling you something you need to hear, you know, if somebody's telling you something and you're just feeling like it's just already giving you that, like, you don't even know what you're talking about feeling, just stop for a second. Take yourself back out of the situation. And I still have like trouble doing this, so don't think that because I'm saying to do this, like, I'm so good at it now. But take yourself out of the situation for a minute, step back and be like, they have a little bit of a point to what they're saying. Like, is there some validity? Like, and that's cool. You know, it's okay to like be told sometimes, like, hey, it's not right that you think like this. It's not right that you feel like this. It's not right that you think it's okay to act like this. And you know, unfortunately, some people don't have people in their lives that are gonna be real with them like that and tell them things that they need to hear. But guess what? That's okay, because you can check yourself too about anything and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. All that can come from it is like growth and a lesson, you know. Number 9, don't beat around the bush. And if you know me, or if you know me for a long time, that's something I can do. I can either tend to be like really blunt and honest with you, or if it's just something I just like, I feel like it might hurt your feelings, or like, I don't know, I'm just having a hard time being honest about, not honest, but just like straightforward about, I will beat around the bush. And I've learned this year, it doesn't do anybody any good. It wasn't anything like major, any like major issues or situations, but just quit beating around the bush. Just say what you gotta say. Conversation goes so much quicker. There's so much less misunderstanding when you just say what you have to say. Be tactful, but just say what you have to say. All right, next thing, number 10, true happiness will come, or you can already have it, but you have to let it happen. Quit. Another thing with perspective, and I'm about to like jump into this. Your perspective, this is actually number 11. Your perspective is everything. Like, if you wake up in the morning and you're just like, I have to go to work, I'm so tired, I wish I could stay home, like XYZ, all these things are going wrong, I don't want to get up and deal with these kids, I don't want to get up and do this, like, yeah, you're going to have a hard time waking up, you're not going to be in a good mood, you're going to be grumpy, it's going to take you a minute to like get into the flow of the day, like, yeah, duh. But if you wake up and you're like, you know, it's cool to be tired, but you're like, all right, I get to go to my job today. Like, I am thankful that I get to wake up and go somewhere. I have a car to get into and even get to work. I don't have to rely on somebody else. If you just change your perspective, you will find that you'll be much happier, much more content and sad. Not just even content to the point where you don't want anything else, but, you know, if that's you, like, where you're always like wanting something more, you'll be more content with what you have. And you'll just be a lot happier. You just have to let that happiness in. Quit focusing on what you don't have. Like, I think I've said that a few times already. Your perspective can change everything. Like, it really, really can. So let it. Like, change that perspective. If something's always going wrong at work, like, is it because of you, or is it something you can't control? If it's something you can't control, all right, quit complaining about it. Move on. Have a great day anyways, you know? Number 12. I'm in charge of and I'm responsible for me. Nobody else is to blame for me and my actions. And that sounds so like, yeah, I know. But just think about how easy it is sometimes to be like, something could happen at work, for example. And you could be like, well, if she didn't come at me like this, or if this didn't happen like this, I wouldn't have done this, this, and that. Which could be true sometimes. But you're just straight up wrong. Quit trying to make excuses for it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Take responsibility. And that is something I'm still learning how to do, because I don't like to be wrong. I just don't, I mean, I don't know anybody who does like to be wrong, but I know people who are more willing to accept when they're wrong. Me, I just have a hard time with it. So I have to remind myself, and I really learned that this year. I can't blame other people for my actions. I can't. It's all about how I react, how I choose to react. Not anybody else's fault but mine, you know? Even when things are out of my control, it's still up to me how I go from there, you know? All right, number 13 is that emotions come and go, and it is not always that serious. This goes back to wallowing in your feelings. This goes back to a lot of different things. But if I feel sad, like, I feel sad. Like, if I'm upset, I'm upset. If I'm happy, I'm happy. Like, I have a hard time thinking, like, in the moment, if I'm sad, that the day could get any better. Like, I just get so, like, caught up in how I'm feeling. And that's not a good thing at all. You have to remember, you know, if things are going wrong, if it's a rough day, if somebody's making you mad, however you're feeling, especially when it comes to like negative feelings, emotions come and go. Like, it's not always that serious. Like, let it go. Do what you can do about the situation. If you can't do anything about it, move on. It's cool, you know? All right, number 14 is that honesty is everything. Another one of those things that it's just like, duh. But I think I learned this, especially even just like with friends and stuff this year, and just, I don't know, like, if you can sit there and just like lie to me and like be cool with it, like, that just speaks so much more of your character. I used to like make excuses for people and be like, oh, maybe it's this, oh, maybe it's that. Like, no, honesty is a big deal. And that's just a lesson I had learned even, sorry, like, all my makeup's in plastic bags because I'm at home. So I'm like looking for my stuff. But that was something even I learned in my relationship, in friendships and stuff over the last few years. And this year, I can't say that I learned honesty is everything. That's just kind of how I wrote it down. I just really learned to appreciate honesty, like, on a whole other level. Especially now, like, when it comes to a lot of things, like work, when it comes to friendships, like, even if you're saying something I don't really want to hear, if you're being honest, that's truly how you feel, I can respect it, you know? Unfortunately, that's just something I did not appreciate a lot growing up, and it took me just going through some things and living and learning to just really appreciate honesty. Something simple, but so great. All right, number 15. Work-life balance is a thing. There is such a thing as too much of both. There's such a thing as too much working. There's such a thing as too much just like life and like not enough working, you know? I have to say I learned it from the perspective of working too much, because if you know me, especially if you met me like over the last year and a half, I like to work. I enjoy it, especially when I'm going through something or I just don't want to deal with things going on in life. I will just work, because it just gets my mind off things, you know, and it's productive. And I feel like because I'm making money or because I'm being productive, like, that's cool, but that doesn't mean it's cool to not deal with stuff going on. So yeah, work-life balance is a thing, okay? Stop working so much if you don't have to. It's cool to take some time off. If somebody wants to spend time with you, spend time with them. Quit using work as an excuse. That was always me. Because, yeah, like I said, if it was making me money or, like, it was something productive, I'm like, that's more important. But no, like, especially this last year, I learned, like, if I look back at this year and I have so much more work moments than I have, like, fun life, like, memories, that's sad. Like, it doesn't matter how much money I made. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Like, have some fun every once in a while. And if you're on the other end of just having too much life and not enough work, it's not good either. But I don't have as much to say about that because I was experiencing it from the other side, from too much work and not enough life, if that makes sense. All right, next thing, number 16. Why'd I say that if I already said it? I said I can't base what I do off of other people. But that already just goes back into what I said. So, moving on. All right, number 17. It is okay to put myself first. It's not okay to be selfish all the time, but it's totally cool to put yourself first. If you constantly find yourself putting other people's feelings first, or what they want first, or what you think they're going to want first, or just whatever, it's not okay. It's okay to talk about what you want sometimes. It's okay to do what you want sometimes. It's okay. And just sometimes people's feelings are going to get hurt. Like, oh well. But it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to do you. It's not a bad thing. Doing you doesn't mean like you're off doing like horrible things. I mean, unless that really is doing you. But for me, it's okay to just put myself first and be like, hey, I need to just take some time to myself right now. Or I can't do this for you, or I can't help you feel better about what you want to feel better about right now because I don't agree with that, or my feelings aren't on the same page as that. I don't know. It's cool to put yourself first. Quit thinking so much about other people sometimes, because would they do the same for you? If the answer is no, stop. Put yourself first. Not before God, but just put yourself first in that situation. All right, number 18. It's rare that what you want out of life will come easy. This is so hard for me to learn because, like I said, just a lot of things. I've been so blessed in my life. I have parents that like love me and would just do anything for me. School hasn't been like too much of a struggle for me. I had parents that pushed me to go to college. My degree, I'm so thankful for that. I've been really, really blessed. And even though I've had to work for things in life, I think a lot of times I just expect things to just kind of happen. And no, you got to make things happen for yourself sometimes, you know, like that's that. So finishing off onto that is, I just wrote that God blesses, but he also recognizes hard work. Kind of like what I said earlier. If you have something you want to do in life, you can't just sit there waiting for it to come along, waiting for the opportunity to come along. You got to make it happen for yourself sometimes. You got to take responsibility for what you want sometimes. If you want to really go after a dream, if you want to go after a goal, if you want to lose weight, if you want to get a degree, whatever, you're going to have to work. Like, it's not going to be easy. You're not going to want to do it all the time. But God recognizes hard work, and your hard work will pay off. But if a year or two has passed and you wanted something for yourself and it hasn't happened, think about what you've done to make it happen for yourself. Now, if it's just not God's will for your life, that's a different story. But if you're just thinking about what you want and not doing something about what you want, it's time to get up. It's time to do something about it. Number 19, be present. Life is too short. And for me, this kind of goes into that work-life balance. Was just always using work as an excuse, was just always on the go, even just always on your phone, little things like that. Be present. If when you're with your family, especially if you don't see them, like, be with your family. Enjoy that time with them. If you're with your boo, be present. Put your phone down. Talk to each other. Like, enjoy that time. Make memories with each other. If you're with your friends, be with your friends. Like, get off. I keep saying get off your phone. I guess I'm telling myself something. Be present in the moment. Get out of the past. Get out of the future. If you're too far in the future already, just be present. Things are going to work out in the future. If it happened, it already happened. Learn from it. Move on. That's it. Enjoy your time where you are now. You'll just be a lot happier. And you make a lot better memories. You're not going to look back and be like, oh, I was just so focused on this or that or whatever. Just be present. Number 20, learn from others instead of comparing yourself to others constantly. Comparing yourself to people, sometimes, I mean, it's not the worst thing you can do, but if you start getting heavy into like just comparing yourself to somebody, girl, you're probably not going to feel very good about yourself when you're done. So instead of just comparing yourself, learn from that person. If me, for example, makeup artist, if it's a makeup artist I love, instead of being like, oh, their work is just so much better than mine, even if it is, like, okay, what did they do differently that I can do, or that I can try to practice, or that I can do better at? Oh, that person is amazing at like making skin look like skin. All right, what are they doing? Like, can I talk to them? Can I learn from them? Are they listing their techniques? Like, can I watch videos of them? And if you can't, just educate yourself. Like, do what you can do to make yourself better. Quit comparing yourself to people. If you, and this is something I've talked to like different girls like a lot about this year, but comparing themselves to people like on Instagram and stuff like that, and I can't lie, I've done it too. Like, there's all these like people on Instagram, it looks like their life is XYZ, so amazing, they look amazing, like all kinds of stuff, and a lot of it might be true, but a lot of it you have to realize like you're just seeing pieces of a person's life. If you are constantly comparing yourself to somebody in the way they look, stop. Like, if it's like a health thing and you need to like be healthier, do that, but do it for you. Don't do it because you want to be like them. If you see that somebody like is just on their grind for something, quit being a hater, quit being jealous. Get on yours. Like, you can be on their level too. Like, quit. People waste so much time comparing themselves to other people instead of like worrying about themselves or learning from these people. Like, if somebody is killing it in life at whatever they're doing, learn from them. Look at what they're doing. Quit hating or quit being like, oh, I wish I could be like them. Girl, bye. Learn. Figure it out for yourself and do it for yourself, because you're just gonna, it's another one of those things you don't want to look back at life and be like, dang, I just wasted all this time. All right, number 21. This is a funny one. Use protection or just don't do it at all. Kind of self-explanatory. I'm excited about this baby, but y'all, it shook me just a little bit. Well, she shook me just a little bit because I had so much other things planned, and I'm so blessed and thankful for this little baby. But if you don't think you're ready, or you know you're not ready, or you just want to, you know, do other things with your life than have kids right now, don't do it at all. And if you find that you must, be smart. Number 22, if you settle, you only have yourself to blame, not anybody else. Don't settle. If you're gonna complain, if you're not gonna be happy in the spot you're in, don't settle. Do more, do better. That's it. Number 23, there is nothing wrong with putting yourself out there, whether it be in business, love, friendships, but think ahead and think smart, and think about how you want to portray yourself, who you want to be. But yeah, just kind of goes back to not just expecting things to come to you. Make things happen for yourself. If you are running a business or starting a business or however, tell people about it. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared. Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid of what people are going to think. Do you. With love, what I mean there is, and this is just, I don't know, some of you might be able to relate, some of you might be like, girl, you're tripping. But with love, it's okay to put yourself out there, and you don't have to, I mean, keep your guard up if you need to, if that's how you're feeling, or if you, I mean, I understand if you've been hurt, but be yourself. If you're seriously talking to somebody, or seriously trying to pursue a relationship with somebody, like y'all are both doing it together, like pursuing each other, quit being so mysterious. It's not cute. I mean, you don't gotta just put it all out there, but speak your mind. Say how you feel, you know? Help them get to know you. Reading between the lines is not it, as much as I would love if people would just understand hints and stuff sometimes. It's not realistic. So yeah, and with friendships, if you've been hurt before in friendships, kind of the same-ish deal. Somebody's giving you weird signs, cut it, move on. Like, you don't want to stick around for that, but so many people these days, they're just so like closed off. And I get it. Like, sometimes it's just your personality, or like you've been through a lot, but you know, like I said, think ahead and be smart, but there's nothing wrong with letting your guard down sometimes and just putting you and who you are out there. I guess that's what I mean more when I say like put yourself out there. I don't mean just be like, here I am, but like just let your guard down a little bit, you know. 24, last one, save money, pay your bills, cook more than you eat out. It's worth it. If you're just like a busy person, you got a lot going on, I know it is just easier to kind of live in the moment and not think smart about things, but it's worth it. Your bank account will thank you, your body will thank you. That is pretty much it. Like I said, these were in no particular order. I just kind of wrote them down. But yeah, I wanted to start filming again. I thought this was a cool way to do it. And I also kind of did this for myself, you know. I want to start like doing this every year. And just so I can like look back, you know, over time and be like, just see how I've learned, see what's kind of happened every year. And just, I don't know, writing down what I've learned this year helped me be more grateful for the year. It helped me see how much I've grown. It helped me see areas that I want to grow in more and stuff. So yeah, and I figured, you know, why not share it with y'all? If you didn't really enjoy the video, whatever, oh well, that's why I said I kind of did it for myself too. But if you did, let me know, and let me know what else you might want to see. All the products and stuff I use will be listed down below. This is just like my basic, nothing crazy, get ready with me. Like, yeah, nothing crazy at all. Not super glam, just, you know, just to look a little more presentable than usual. So all the products I use, I'll put down below in the description box. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It's pretty long, but you know, Alexis sleep. It's pretty long, but you know, it's cool. Because that was my year. That was my 24, 25 now. Feels really old, but I'll see you next year for the same video, but 25. But until then, I'm gonna keep filming. I'm gonna get back into this. I'm excited about it. So yeah, hopefully y'all keep watching.